Okay, let's look at some notes for, oops, let's look at some notes for Chapter 9, Section 2. Now that you guys know how to balance chemical reactions or chemical equations, we need to know how to classify chemical reactions. Okay, objectives. Classify chemical reactions. Identify the characteristics of different classes of chemical reactions. Vocabulary review. Metal, an element that is a solid at room temperature, a good conductor of heat and electricity, and is generally shiny. New vocabulary. Okay, we have a synthesis reaction, a combustion reaction, a decomposition reaction, a single replacement reaction, or double replacement reaction, and a precipitate. Main idea. There are 4 types of chemical reactions: synthesis, combustion, decomposition, and the different replacement reactions. Okay, types of chemical reactions. Chemists classify reactions in order to organize them into their main types. A synthesis reaction is a reaction in which two or more substances react to produce a single product. Synthesis or synthesize means to create, so a synthesis reaction creates a single product. Okay, here's an example. When 2 elements react, the reaction is always a synthesis reaction. So here we have sodium that is reacting with chlorine. What product does it make? It makes sodium chloride. Okay, next we have a combustion reaction. This is when oxygen combines with a substance and releases energy in the form of heat and light. Combustion, what do you think of? I think of fire. Okay, so heated hydrogen reacts with oxygen to produce heat and water in a combustion reaction. Okay, so as you can see here, we have hydrogen and we have water. Okay, so we have hydrogen and we have oxygen. So you know, okay, that you are automatically going to have a combustion reaction. This one happens to be hydrogen with oxygen produces water. Okay, we did the opposite of this reaction when we broke water apart into the 2 gases. Remember when we had the battery in the tanks and we saw it bubbling up through the test tubes? Okay, that was the opposite of this reaction. Okay, now we have decomposition reactions. A decomposition reaction is one in which a single compound breaks down into 2 or more elements or new compounds. Decomposition means to break apart, right? So you're breaking apart the compounds. Okay, decomposition reactions often require an energy source such as heat, light, or electricity to occur. Okay, replacement reactions. A reaction in which the atoms of one element replace the atoms of another element in the compound. Okay, this is called the first one we're going to look at is a single replacement. Okay, so you can see how we have A plus BX produces or yields AX plus B. Being a replacement, you can see where A and B have just switched places. Okay, we now have AX instead of BX. So one element switches places. Okay, a metal will not always replace a metal in a compound dissolved in water because of the differing reactivities. Okay, halogens frequently replace other halogens in replacement reactions. Okay, so keep those 2 things in mind. Halogens also have different reactivities and do not always replace each other. So if a single replacement reaction, one element replaces another, a double replacement occurs when the ions exchange between the compounds. So you can see you have AX plus BY. yields AY plus BX. You are going to have your cations change places and your anions change places. I know I did my arrows backwards, but your anions and your cations are just going to change places. So let's look at the example down here. We have our negative. Our negatives are going to move from the reactant side over to the product side. Okay, the excuse me, the hydroxide is no longer with calcium, it is now with hydrogen over here. The chlorine is no longer with hydrogen, it moves over to combine with chlorine. Okay, so you have two things changing places. You have a double replacement reaction. Okay, the solid product produced when you have a chemical reaction, the solid product produced is called a precipitate. Okay, all double replacement reactions produce either water, a precipitate, or gas. Remember, gas or precipitate, the bubbles, all of that, those are evidence of chemical reaction. Okay, this table shows how to write a double replacement reaction. I'm going to let you look through there, read through that to yourself. Okay, this table summarizes different ways to predict the product of a chemical reaction. Okay, so you can see over here we have all of the types of reactions: synthesis, combustion, decomposition, single replacement, and double replacement. Okay, how many or what is specifically the reactant, what the probable products could be, and the generic equation. So when you are asked to identify the chemical reaction, you can use this table to help you. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the bouncing ball says. Which of the following is not one of the four types of reactions? Deconstructive, synthesis, single replacement, or double replacement? The answer is deconstructive. Okay, the following equation is what type of reaction? A, deconstructive, B, synthesis, C, single replacement, D, double replacement. The answer is double displacement. Okay, you guys need to go get some practice with this. We'll see you later.